Hey everyone, it's Jack and Ross from Cultaholic back again with some more wrestling news. Ross, how are you?
I'm not too bad, how are you?
I'm not too bad as well. We have plenty to talk about today. Some of it's quite sad news, but we'll get to that in just a second. For now, let's dive straight into the headlines. A WWE Star's InRing return is said to be imminent. Elsewhere, Buddy Murphy's first post-WWE match since his release has been revealed. And in sad news, the legendary Paul Orndorff has passed away. So yes, first of all, there's been a huge update on a WWE Star's in-ring return. Ross, who are we talking about, or who are Fightful talking about, I should say?
Fightful Alicious are talking about Sonya Deville, whose in-ring return should be imminent, according to their sources who are close to them, which is very, very interesting as we head into Money in the Bank season.
Yeah, apparently at one point she was going to be part of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, but there's not really been much more said about that. She also hasn't wrestled, of course, since her loser leaves WWE match against former tag partner and BFF Mandy Rose. I'm surprised. I thought this was just going to be it for her for now, like just her authority figure thing, and I thought it was going pretty well. I thought it was going fine. Of course, if she wants to get back in the ring and if she's healthy too, then why not? Like, obviously that's great for her, but yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by this as well. Did you also think she was just going to be an authority figure now?
I don't know, because there was Natalia's got this Dungeon 2.0 with Tyson Kidd at the minute, where you see all the photographs of all the lady wrestlers doing their training and whatnot, and Sonya Deville was one of the ladies doing the training in recent times. Maybe hinting at a comeback, but yeah, I guess it is a bit of a surprise just to how good she has been in this new role. Then you think, wow, she could do that role and be active at the same time and be one hell of a heel. One hell of a dirty, dirty heel.
Yes, she could. That's a very good point, actually. I didn't think of that she could do both. She recently has been being a bit biased with the likes of, Liv Morgan trying to get in Money in the Bank and stuff. She's been favouring Carmella. On Raw, she's been favouring Charlotte Flair for a while now. So I could definitely see how that could work. But at the same time, I don't quite understand. They need more women in the SmackDown Women's division. Could that have anything to do with this decision, possibly?
Maybe, but they do have a couple of new arrivals coming. Tony Storm's on the way. Someone else is on the way. I can't remember. I was a bit drunk on Friday, so I was when SmackDown was happening.
Shotzi and Tegan.
Yes.
They turned up. That's very true indeed. Well, we'll keep an eye on Sonya Deville and see what she does in the future. Exciting news for her, of course, if it's true, and if that's what she wants to do, if she wants to get back in the ring. But next up, let's talk about somebody who is no longer with WWE. Buddy Murphy, his first post-WWE match has been revealed. He posted, or his opponent rather, posted on Instagram that he will be facing Murphy at the former ECW arena for Battleground Championship Wrestling. Ross, who is the man in question?
Who can stop the path of Cage? That is an impersonation of Taz, who of course is the professional wrestling valet. Well, he's not a valet, is he? He's a manager of one Brian Cage. Yeah, they'll be doing the wrestles at the 2300 Arena, the former ECW arena, for Battleground Championship Wrestling. Nothing to do with the rubbish video game.
On September 18th, yes, Buddy Murphy versus Brian Cage. Does that hint, I don't know why I'm asking this, because neither of us will probably know that, but does this hint, perhaps, at Buddy Murphy's potential future involvement with a certain AEW? Because, of course, that's where Brian Cage is from.
If you want to do that, Jack, that's up to you. I don't think it means anything.
Fair enough.
We've seen Andrade over the weekend doing wrestling at some other promotion that clearly wasn't AEW. I don't think you can put any sort of correlation between that. Who knows? Something might be going on behind the scenes there, but I don't think so.
Fair enough, indeed. I'm pleased with Buddy Murphy, though. I think that sounds like a really good match as well on paper. And I feel like he's going to be the sort of guy who, because he's so good, people will book him against a variety of opponents. Like, he's going to find himself work everywhere, surely.
Yeah, he's got a fire under his arse as well. I saw his interview with Big Sean Ross Sapp saying that WWE just really drummed the sort of his passion and sort of enthusiasm for pro wrestling out of him by just telling him things and not delivering the things they told him and stuff like that. So a fire is burning under his arse, so it's going to be fun to see what he can do.
I was interested in him talking about the Aaliyah storyline and how uncomfortable he was with it because of the age difference and everything. And he was saying,
would be.
Well, yeah, of course, 100%. And he was saying stuff like, it all seemed like it was just going to be, there wasn't going to be a kiss involved and it was all just going to be implied romance. And then they went off to a production meeting with Vince and then came back acting all weird. And he was like, what's up, guys? And they were like, yeah, you need to kiss her now. And he was like, No.
I can never be good when you've got, like, was he like 72 or something now, Vince McMahon? Just going,
Oh, I thought you meant Buddy Murphy. No, he wasn't that much older. He wasn't that much older than
You're gonna kiss her. You're gonna kiss her real good.
Yeah.
Must
Yeah.
be weird.
Two WWE superstars, by the way, have had their names changed. Reckoning and Slapjack are no longer Reckoning and Slapjack, according to PW Insider. They are now Mia Yim and Shane Thorne once again. Is this good for them or sad?
It's fantastic for them.
Okay.
Because they're not like T-Bar and Mace, who are still, for some reason, in their Retribution gimmick, even though Retribution, their names for Retribution was like a gang name where you get a new identity. When you go out the gang, though, you get your old identity back, but they didn't. So I'm glad that Mia Yim and Shane Thorne have.
And can you ever truly leave a gang once you've joined? But that's a question for another day. I don't know what I'm on about here. I'm worried. I'm not worried for him. I think he'll do fine. But I'm sad for Shane Thorne. I'm completely buzzing for Mia Yim. Absolutely delighted for her. But Slapjack was a bit of a beloved character. Was he a beloved character?
Maybe ironically, but to be honest, I'm going to throw something out there. Put Shane Thorne in a similar role to that of Brian Pillman from back in the day, because he does that crazy sort of like, I'm not all there kind of shtick very well, I thought, back in his sort of... He did it very like a little dibble and dabble here and there in the TM61 days back in the day, but I think he'd be a crazy guy. Let him be a crazy guy.
God, TM61. So much has happened since then that I forgot that he was one of the two guys in TM61.
It must be about 4 or 5 years ago now. That must be time.
Yes,
time
I'd say
flies.
so. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of time flying, we are hurtling towards Money in the Bank this weekend. This weekend.
No,
this weekend. I think it's this weekend.
Oh my God.
I know. Soon, either way, we're hurtling towards Money in the Bank 2021, and a new match has been added to the card, which is looking pretty stacked, actually. So I think it probably is this weekend.
Yeah.
But WWE have announced that AJ Styles and Omos will defend their Raw Tag Team titles against the Viking Raiders. This has been building for a while. The Viking Raiders have kept on, like, distracting AJ during matches or being mean to Omos, but they're funny. They're the good guys, so we want them to win. But I don't want them to win. I want AJ and Omos to still have the belts. What do you think?
Do you not feel sympathy for Ivar having his turkey leg slapped from his palm on multiple occasions?
No, I don't.
That's fair enough.
I like the Viking Raiders. I like them when they were, on NXT and before that even. But I don't like the main roster version of the Viking Raiders. And while I'm glad that they're back from their injuries and they're all ready to go and stuff and it's all looking good, I don't want them to be champions and be funny with it, Yeah,
it would be quite interesting to just see Omos just pick them up maybe and just slam them out a bit and then just end the match. Because they had singles matches last night on Raw, didn't they? AJ took on one of them and Omos took on the other one. I haven't seen Raw yet, but I think that happened last night. We're fantastic wrestling journalists, we are, Jack.
It's the morning, it's fine. We're allowed not to have seen it all yet. I will read out the full card, though, for Money in the Bank. To round this little bit off. So the Raw Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Omos taking on the Viking Raiders, of course. In the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura. There's quite a few potential winners in there, to be fair. In the women's Money in the Bank ladder match so far, Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, or is it Nikki Ash? Almost a superhero. Zelina Vega, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and one more wrestler to be announced. Rhea Ripley defending the Raw Women's title against Charlotte Flair. Bobby Lashley defending his title against Kofi Kingston. Bobby Lashley lost to Xavier Woods last night.
Did he?
And Roman... Yeah, in the opening match, yeah.
How? Shenanigans?
Probably. I don't know yet, but don't expose me like that. And Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship, of course, against Edge. And I believe Bianca Belair is going to get a replacement opponent after the sad news, of course, that Bayley is going to be out for quite a long time. And finally, of course, in news that I'm sure you've all heard already if you're in any way interested in the world of wrestling, but the legendary Paul Orndorff has sadly passed away. He's just one of the great, not even just one of the great heels, just one of the great figures, isn't he, in WWE history, really.
We go back to the rock and wrestling connection of the 80s and you go back to the event which had like WF, the future of the company, and maybe professional wrestlers we know today on the line. The main event of that show had Paul Orndorff in it, so he has a large part to play in just the history of WWF and I guess American wrestling in general. Just one of the iconic characters, wasn't he? And famously, he beat up Vader in flip-flops on the shoot backstage, so there you go.
I mean, I couldn't do that, so fair
Neither
play. There's been a lot of response from figures in the wrestling world, especially some of those close to Paul Orndorff as well. Hulk Hogan said, "R.I.P. my brother, love you and thank you for always making me fight for everything in our matches. Heaven just got even more wonderful." Of course, his nickname being Mr. Wonderful. Edge Copeland tweeted, "Paul Orndorff was the first wrestler I hated and feared as a child. I was at the big event in Toronto. It changed my life. Years later, the morning before WrestleMania 21, I trained with him and Hulk Hogan. I was a little kid again. One of my fondest memories. Thank you for all of them, Paul." Mick Foley has also said, "As a fan, I loved watching him. As a wrestler, I loved working with him. Truly one of the all-time greats." So incredibly sad news to end on there, which is a shame, but thankfully Paul Orndorff will be someone who will be very fondly remembered by everyone in the wrestling business.
Have you seen the heel turn? Have you seen the heel turn where he turns heel on Hulk Hogan? It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Oh, and the build-up to that event, which had like 65,000 or something crazy like that in Toronto. Crazy stuff back in the day. But go and see that heel turn if you haven't seen it already, because the boos are fantastic.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. Check out that video, definitely, and leave your thoughts and opinions on any of these stories in the comments section down below. Are you streaming this week, Ross?
I'll be at 1 p.m. BST on Wednesday. We'll be doing some FIFA. I'm not quite sure what. If you want to see something, tweet me at Ross on Wrestling with suggestions.
Me and Owen at 6 p.m. that same day on Wednesday as well, later on Twitch. And thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you very soon.